Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Evolutions are about to level up inside of FC26, and considering where we are right now in the game cycle, I think it's a needed change. It sounds like our Glory Hunters promo that is coming tomorrow is bringing this change, but will it pertain to these customizable Glory Hunters cards? And speaking of these cards, guys, look at this loading screen that we have in game. That is very unique, and we need to talk about how those cards look today, and also how sick the Foot Champs reward design is for this promo. But also, guys, it is Thursday today, which means big things for tokens. It's a token reset day. Of course, it's Division Rivals Rewards Day as well. That's going to impact the market. And speaking of the market, do we need to invest in these greats of the game cards before they go out of packs? Or do we need to buy gold Neymar? I want to talk about that today. If you're excited for this one, drop a thumbs up to the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's start this video how we've been starting each of the last couple days videos on the channel by talking about objectives and how EA is trying to compensate people who didn't get their objective rewards 2 weeks ago now. We're still talking about this whole Tim Cahill situation, and yesterday EA said that they fixed the problem. Affected players were messaged in game, and then people responded. You can see a lot of comments on that tweet saying that they actually had not gotten the rewards that they were supposed to get from that Al Oweiran objective, given the Tim Cahill, the Tiny Tim Evo, and stuff like that. So EA had to backtrack and say, yeah, we messed up. We're aware that some players did not receive all their rewards. We are continuing our investigation. So if you didn't get your rewards that you were supposed to from compensation, hopefully those are still incoming. I will say, if you're really wanting to get this objective done and you haven't yet, find somebody either in our Discord or in the community somewhere where you can co-op. Because you can co-op and use players that another person has that you don't have to be able to satisfy these objectives. So if somebody still has Tim Cahill that you're friends with, go co-op with them. You'll get this objective done in certain game modes if you are co-oping. So that is one thing to mention. I know we've talked about that on and off in the streams, but that is a very easy way to get that done if you're having problems. And if you just want to make getting the objectives done a bit more fun, co-op could be a good way to do it. Now, yesterday's Evo content brought us a very nice left mid Evo. Max 91 Maradona of the Carpathians is what it is called. It gives the icon chemistry card for greats of the game to the item. So it becomes an icon. It becomes 5-star, 5-star, and it gives the center attacking mid position. This gives the technical plus playstyle, finesse plus playstyle, as mentioned, the 5-star, 5-star, couple of other base playstyles, and some good stats. But it's the position change, the 5-5, and the stats with the icon chem that really make this a pretty good Evo. Not necessarily for a lot of the players that I have in my club. Like, I've got an Mbappe here, haven't Evo'd him, right? Looks decent. Doesn't look crazy. This Leroy Sané looks pretty good. You see in the 93s and 94s, right? It's not bad. Where this Evo shines is in a couple of specific cards that already have some pretty high stats. Like this Bahoya, 98 pace, going up to 94 shooting and dribbling is pretty good. You take a look at Footman, you see this Claudia Pina. Of course, she's popular for this evolution. You see this Gervinho. If any of you did this SBC back during the fantasy promo, you can make him come to life once again with icon chemistry, even though he's a hero, but +7 shooting, 5 pass, and 3 dribble. Like, that is a solid card going to 5-star, 5-star. There's a lot of cards that look really, really good through this, and even one that we looked at as an investment in yesterday's video. We saw him moving on the market, right? He was up from Tuesday into Wednesday. We saw this price movement, and then yesterday when the Evo came out, this Karim Adeyemi went from 180k to 300,000 coins, and there's a handful of other cards in the market, like this Semenyo even, that are moving up like that in price, because this Evo is one that a lot of people want to do. So for 75,000 coins, it is solid because of all the upgrades and the extras that evolution does give. It's going to take me probably a minute to see who I want to put into it, but that's still a good Evo. Now, to SBCs we go, where we had a Stefan Eustachio SBC. Canada did not win their game yesterday in the group match day 3, if you will call it that. Kind of crazy right now having like 6 teams playing every single day because you've got there's 6 games every single day because you have 3 groups that are playing at the same time to finish out all their group play. Pretty wild, but Canada did not win. There's a consolation prize, though, if you're Canadian, because this SBC is only 12,000 coins, and he is fully customizable through the Playstyles Lab. I think the Siko Fofana card was better than this one, but they're at least both very cheap, and I don't know why he has the Visa symbol here. I don't think this is a Visa-sponsored SBC. I thought that was a glitch at a content yesterday. but it's still there. So not quite sure what's going on with him. But we also got the Kempes SBC, which I'm going to say it one more time. Just like we knew was going to happen with these SBCs, it's just better to buy the card off the market that is better. This SBC is like 50,000 coins, but for 60,000 coins, you can get a way better card with 4 playstyle pluses, 97 shooting. I tried this guy out yesterday to get my rivals points. His power shots are crazy. I was not expecting the amount of power that power shot had, but he's got 97 shooting and 98 shot power with 97 finishing and the power shot base playstyle, so makes sense why it was good. But yeah, if you're going to do Mario Kempes or want to use him in game, definitely get this card off the market for 60k and skip on the SBC. Now, the SBC that most of us probably attempted yesterday was the new 1 of 3 Festival Football Greats of the Game player pick. I was just not super happy to see that we have to turn in 4 squads of fodder to get this done. 87, 87, 88, and 89 rated squads, not even mentioning the fact you have to have 3 Team of the Week, Team of the Season, or Festival of Football players, just making that SBC a little bit more annoying. And it didn't even seem like it was necessarily worth it with the pack weight from those player picks being pretty average. We saw a lot of Drogbas. I got Batistuta from it. We saw a good chunk of like Klose and Chiellini's and Barnes and some of the heroes in there like Voller and Schneider. Most of the cards were being packed from that player pick. We're pretty cheap in price, to be completely honest. We saw a couple of Carlos Pujols, 95 rated. We saw a couple of Roberto Carlos, but we probably opened 15 to 20 of them on stream, and I don't think we saw a single 96 rated card. Yeah, I mean, Roberto Carlos was, I think, the most expensive card that we packed on stream yesterday from those player picks. Albeit, that is a good place to put your fodder right now where we don't have a ton of options to do so. It just did not have the luck that you would like to see on one of those player picks. Now, the last thing we have to discuss is something we talk about every day, and that would be PTG upgrades, because we had Portugal and Croatia upgrades that were added to the game yesterday. Ruben Diaz, and actually all the Portugal cards got really solid 99 stat boost. He got 99 strength. Gonzalo Ramos got 99 acceleration. And Pedro Neto, maybe the upgrade of the day, got 99 short passing. I had not started this Pedro Neto SBC until yesterday, and his 99 short passing boost brought him from 90 passing overall up to 99. And it was at that moment I said, I'm doing it. Saw Portugal play, looked good. I was waiting to see how they would continue to play before starting this SBC, and with a couple days left to go, 1 day, 12 hours left to go from right now, I've got 5 more squads to do on this Neto. We'll try to get him done before the Glory Hunters promo, because that card now, with that 99 stat boost, is looking even more crazy, and I just believe in them a little bit more than I did before. You can look at all the upgrades, of course, on Footbin, Gavardiol, Jakic, Pasalic, all got upgraded yesterday as well. And really, I want to talk about PTG upgrades at length in today's video, because we have maybe some stat upgrades incoming for cards today. That's what I really want to know. Will the Brazilians, the Moroccans, the Mexicans, and all the other nationalities that clinched the round of 32 knockout round berths yesterday through the group stages, finishing for groups A, B, and C, will EA give out the round of 32 upgrades today, which of course is a +1 overall? We've got a lot of cards that satisfied those requirements, 2 from each group, and some of them 3, right? Mexico, South Africa, Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, Morocco, and Brazil have all been confirmed to advance into the round of 32. So we're awaiting some +1s for all those cards. And even for the South Africa cards, since it was their first win, they will be getting their first 99 in-game stat. And the 2 Mexico cards of Jimenez and Alvarez, they'll be getting their second 99 in-game stat, because they got 9 points and won all 3 group stage matches. And when saying that, I think there's actually some more market opportunity here. You can see that Vinny is up in price. This is a card that I have. If he would go to a 97 rated today, that'd be phenomenal. Granted, Xhaka is a Swiss card. He's up a whole bunch in price as well. You can see yesterday he was 280k. And now the bro's like 400,000 coins. Yeah, 415k right now. So I think there could be some price rises on these cards, which may be too late to invest in some that are getting upgraded today, like Moroccans, Brazilians, Canadians, or any of these nations. But maybe you look ahead into the future and you see like Germany is playing today. Now I know Musiala and Nementia and Florian Wirtz are already up a good bit in price, right? This Nementia card, I think, was like 120k on the weekend at one point, and now he's, yeah, 200,000 coins. So people are expecting these upgrades to maybe bring the levels of the card up in rating if they're actually going to give those +1s out today. But if they do upgrade Vinny Jr., if they do upgrade Brahim Diaz and all these other cards that are due a +1 today, then I would go look for the next couple days of games for those cards that are kind of already confirmed to be getting that round of 32 berth. Maybe look and see if they're going to move a little bit on the market. Now, this would be a short-term trade for me because at the same time I'm saying this, I'm also still a little bit worried about the market when it comes to what's happening this weekend. But just kind of watch the groups today. Of course, Mexico, South Africa have clinched. Korea's in a really interesting spot. They're going to be holding on tight to be one of the last 8 teams out of the 12 third-place teams to go into the round of 32. That's why this Lee Kang-in's price will be very interesting to watch if you want to play the World Cup strategy game and the permutations game. If you watch his price, whenever we get towards the end of the week and kind of confirmed like what third place teams are going to be going to the round of 32. This card, if Korea do get in, could skyrocket in price. I think they're on the bubble right now. So just what's one thing to watch out for? Scotland, I think, is on the bubble as well, but it's not looking good for them with their goal difference sitting where it is. So that's just what I wanted to mention about these cards. And of course, if you have any Brazilian cards or any of these that we have had via SBC or in packs, fingers crossed that EA actually do upgrade the stats today and don't wait a super long time or wait till all the groups are finished. That would be frustrating. So definitely watch out for that one today. But like I mentioned, I'm still a little skeptical on the market. And this new promo of Glory Hunters is making me even a little more skeptical now because that card design and the way those cards look are sick. Now, I know that doesn't really pertain to too much about how this promo is actually going to go down, but that has grabbed my attention. I don't know if it's grabbed your attention, but those look like icon cards because icons are usually the items that we have that are kind of grayed out and are not showing full color on their items, right? Like that's what we normally see, the black and white images on the icon cards. And here we have Neymar, Messi, Virgil van Dijk, and Ousmane Dembele all in their national team kits with the black and white images. Now, is this just a teaser? Like, I mean, EA knows they're showing us who's going to be in this promo by showing these players here, but is this like a teaser for their dynamic images and they're going to be in full color when we see them in game tomorrow? Or is this how the promo is going to look? And if they do look like that, I don't think I'm mad about it. So I'm really curious to see how that comes to play out in game, but that's just kind of a smaller detail to see how the cards work. Seeing that card design though, maybe it's because of the black and white cards on it because it's different. I think that might be the best card design that we have had related to the World Cup. The Greats of the Game icon design is pretty solid, but when I look at that one looks the best to me. You can actually see it here in game. It's called Rush Excellence. I think it's just named incorrectly, but that card design looks pretty cool. Also, guys, the red one that will be in the Champs token store, my gosh, that card design looks sick. It actually needs to be viewed a little bit bigger screen than that. I know we're just obsessing over small details right now, but that looks phenomenal to me. I love like the shards of glass look with the nice simple edges with a little bit of detail in there. Big fan of that one. So I'd be curious to see what cards are going to be in the token store this weekend that we could get with that card design. But anyways, this Glory Hunters promo, besides who we already know is going to be in it, right? The whole entire team is leaked. We looked at that in yesterday's video. We saw some official stats, including some new stats we have today to look at, but also we have some big SBC names that I want to discuss. And the biggest thing about this promo upcoming is the evolution changes. But first of all, some more official stats. Guys, the Neymar Evos are better for like 90% of us. This Neymar going to be in packs is going to have 96 passing, 97 dribble. Again, ignore the card designs here. The ones in game are obviously the correct one, but 92 pace for Neymar is not looking that amazing. And he's a 96 rated, so I can't imagine he's going to be that cheap amongst all the ratings of the cards that we're going to see. Arnautovic looks pretty cool, 92 rated and evoable as a 92 rated card. That's kind of a FIFA legend item right there. Some other cards we had leaked yesterday was this Courtois. Guys, if you have goalkeepers right now that are tradable in your club, I would highly recommend selling them because I think with goalkeepers coming in this promo and potentially some other SBCs and even that Vozinha card that's actually going to be in the token store, we learned with customizable goalkeepers and not too many goalkeepers having 3 good playstyle pluses that you could choose and put on a card, I think this Courtois is going to have a lot of hype. And again, it does come down to the pack weight for this promo, but even that Bono card could be a very good one as well. We've got a Kubas card that we had not seen previously. The Valverde, again, looks super cracked. Hincapié looks cracked. Messi looks ridiculous. We've got Ueda and Watanabe there for 2 Feyenoord cards. Ueda looks pretty decent and usable. And Weston McKennie, I am super duper excited to get that card there. So we don't have an official full team leak yet of these cards, but a lot of the stats look decent. Again, the biggest question is, will we be able to go to 4 playstyle pluses in the way that we upgrade these cards? We still do not know the answer to that. Now, here's a list of the SBC and objective cards with official stats. Daniel Malen, aka M9, is coming back to this game. He's had some very overpowered cards in the past. 96 pace, 95 dribble, 92 shooting, and 90 passing. That could be a nice card via SBC. I think Anthony Gordon's card looks really good. It was confirmed that he will be Barcelona chemistry-wise in-game as well. The EA guy didn't respond to me. If you heard yesterday's video, I mentioned DMing an EA Connect to just see, like, hey, can you tell me about this? No response, but the leakers covered the situation anyway. 97 pace and 95 shooting and 95 dribbling. That's really good. If he's got 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, that could be a really solid card. 5-5, of course, would be even better. Havertz looks good. Maybe not the best. I think Anthony Gordon looks the best out of all these cards, if I'm being honest. Richard Rios looks decent. Cuti Romero is getting a card. We were jokingly saying that in game yesterday, imagine Romero, once you did the SBC, when you put him in your team, automatically came with a red card applied to his item, so you couldn't use him in the first game. That would be too funny, and I can say that as a Spurs fan as a joke. But 93 pace, 95 defense, and physical looks decent. And then the 2 goalkeepers. Vozinha, which we learned yesterday is going to be in the token store. I wish he would be an SBC, because that means you got to spend hard-earned tokens on that card, which statistically doesn't look that great. But if you would have said, nah, rather just do 2 87 rated squads or 88 rated squads for that card, I would be all in, because you can get fodder super easy. You can farm that. Tokens you have a limited amount of, and there's just a lot more weight to those decisions with those tokens than there is with fodder. Kim Sung-gyu as well, the Korean keeper, looks decent too. And he might be an SBC or objective card, but that's the reason why I think selling some of your keepers that actually go for a lot right now might be a good idea, because we're going to be customizing these cards to 3 playstyle pluses. There's multiple keepers that are going to be out, and, you know, some of those keepers that we have looked at recently, some of those TOTS cards and other stuff, they've really risen a lot in price, and I think if these are decently cheap, some of those keepers could fall on the market. So those are all the leaked SBC and objective cards that we do have at the moment. But this was the biggest news yesterday. Foot Police said, Balbazo emoji, just a small one, just one. Exclusive. 4 Playstyle Plus evolutions are set to come to Ultimate Team soon. Players that have 4 PS Pluses will not fit. You get the 4th Playstyle Plus. Which players would you like to upgrade? And in the first response tweet down here, somebody asked him about Friday. He said yes. So what we're envisioning with this would be our regular Evo content, kind of the what they leak as the main event Friday Evo, the big Friday Evo that we get to start a new promo week. That's the one that's probably going to give us our first 4 Playstyle Plus boost of the year. Sure, we've had a couple of 4 playstyle boost evos, like the one in the token store for 2,000 tokens, the main event evo. We've had a couple of individual playstyle evos in the season pass, but this is different. This is an evo that you put a card into and you get a 4th playstyle plus on right out of that. At least that is how this sounds. And I like that, because if you think about where we're at right now at this stage of the game, we've got 4 playstyle plus cards that are 100K, I mean 60K for Kempes for 4 playstyle pluses. And the 4 playstyle plus, you know, card is now just becoming a whole lot more obtainable via this promo, via other evolutions like we just talked about, the main event Evo and the Evos that are in the season pass. I think it's time that they start to sprinkle in some of the 4 Playstyle Plus regular Evos as well. Guys, we're almost to July, and by the time we get to July, we're thinking about footies, we're thinking about 85 by 10 unlimited repeatable, we're thinking about silly season, transfer cards, stuff like that. Like, that is what you think end game cycle. Like, we are literally there. I know the World Cup's going on right now, and there's still a lot of that left, which is very exciting. There's a lot more content with that still coming. I'm there for it. But probably right after the World Cup is footies, and then it's like short turnaround, and this game is over, and we're using gold cards again, which I'm actually very excited to go back to using gold cards. I was just thinking about that this week, not because it's a new FC, but man, the restart and going back to gold cards, is just different. And maybe it was because the start of FC26 was so good with the gold cards. I don't know, but I feel like I'm almost ready for that again. Anyways, I digress. We're going to 4 playstyle pluses with Evo starting this Friday. The last question I have is, are we doing it with the Playstyles Lab? We still don't have any info on this. I would love it if we got some news. If it's a surprise tomorrow on Friday, I would love that as well. But I'm just kind of setting my expectations at 3 playstyle pluses. Nothing new is going to be added here for these Glory Hunters cards that are going to be coming out. We'll be stuck at 3 playstyle pluses and 8 base playstyles for those. That's what I'm setting my expectations at. I would love to be wrong, but we do not have any news on that yet. Now, with that being said, let's talk about this promo and how it relates to the market. Of course, as I talked about yesterday, I think the pack weight's the biggest thing when it comes to these new cards, because the new cards have pretty good stats, right? But if we're only able to take them to 3 playstyle pluses, they have to have good pack weight for this promo to be pretty high, because we won't be wanting to use these cards if they don't. And a lot of people have been asking me, Nate, what should I do about grades of the game? There's a lot of you guys that want to buy these cards, and I 100% get it, because these cards look super cheap and they're icons that you normally don't get to use. So having the opportunity to pick up a Zidane for under 1 million coins at this meta level, when the rest of cards that we're seeing in this game barely get to 4 playstyle pluses, or, I mean, when do you get to use a Zidane that's 97 rated for 1 million coins? Not very often. I think there is a place where some of these cards rise up on the market. What my gut feeling is right now is, with the Rivals rewards supply today, these cards will probably drop off a little bit. It could create a really good entry point for a player like Zidane, Iniesta, Beckenbauer, Puskás, Charlton, Cruyff, any of the 4 playstyle plus cards that are kind of rare. I mean, I would even consider Gareth Bale a card that you could buy today with rewards. You actually saw his price move up a little yesterday. He dropped in the morning down to 590, and then I saw him go back up to about 620,000 coins yesterday as people were playing Rivals before the World Cup games started. Now, I think, again, Rivals is going to bring down the price of these cards a little bit, but after content day on Thursday, if we don't get anything super good, I think these cards, especially the 4 playstyle plus rare ones, some of the names that we already mentioned, will start to just trickle back up in price a little bit. And then the only thing you would have to worry about would be a crazy promo Friday, huge pack weight release, crazy Evo, unexpected stuff for Glory Hunters. So if you want to buy something for your team, I'm going to say today's going to be a decent time to do that. Make sure it's a 4 playstyle plus card and a good one. Other than that, if you wanted to wait and see how this Glory Hunters promo pans out, I think that would be a good idea too. I'm going to be mostly liquid in terms of trades and flips and stuff like that heading into the promo tomorrow on Friday. Is it a little bit of like last week that's living in my brain because of how crazy the market crashed? Maybe. Do I think the market's going to crash as crazy as it did last week for greats of the game? No shot. There's no way that it's going to be as crazy of a market crash, right? That's why I think I wanted to invest this weekend on some of these PTG cards, and I'm going to be watching the market very closely when we potentially do have a little bit of a market drop, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was going to be. Now, short term, you see me having some cards on my transfer list. I'm watching some prices. Today on Thursday, for cards like these random team of the seasons that people are going to be building their teams with, or some of these UCL winners cards, or just other out-of-packs special cards in general, I am going to be trading with. Picked up a Schumann for like 280,000 coins. I picked up 3 or 4 Schlotterbecks for 260. The dude is super rare. He hits like 350 every single day, and Thursdays are usually a good day to be trading with cards. That's why I would highly recommend getting out in the market today and just maybe flipping something or two, on the market. You find a good price, you see something that is a bit low, and snag it, snag it, pick that card up, because people are going to be getting some cards and buying some teams with Rivals rewards that brings out coins. So that is one thing I would say. I think we can have a market rise today on some of those older TOTS cards. Lower budget, middle budget would be the safest place to go, and just rare cards in general. Some of the PTGs, if we get hyped for upgrades, like we mentioned, could be moving a bit as well. But I will be probably out of all of this stuff by tomorrow on Friday, just to be safe before this Glory Hunter promo does come out. Now, the last thing that I want to mention is Neymar. I think Neymar is going to be a good investment. Now, let me show you the graph. Neymar was down to 42,000 coins on Saturday. He's kind of risen back up because people know he's going out of packs. He was 62K yesterday. He was 54K on Tuesday. We're getting Rivals rewards today. He's an 83 rated card. There's some 83 by 15s and 83 plus times 10s. I believe they're a part of Rivals rewards. Tradable. A couple of them here or there. If this card goes down to about 55,000 coins, I would invest because he's about to go out of packs as he's going to get a promo card, which isn't the greatest, right? Here's the Conte and the VVD official cards, by the way. I forgot to look at those when we were looking at the leaks earlier. But this Neymar is about to go out of packs, and people are going to see you can create better Evos than you can actually getting the Neymar card and then customizing that card through Evos. I think this could be a good investment as he goes out of packs because, again, when the promo card comes into packs, the gold card will be out of packs. So you might have to pay $60K, but I'd love in the $50 to $55K range for this card today on bid, on snipe, if he does drop down that low. I think that could be a good out of packs investment for the next week, as people will definitely still want to Evo him. He just played yesterday for Brazil, got subbed on, and got some time on the pitch. So I think that all bodes well for him, and people are going to be wanting to Evo this card, especially if we're getting a 4 playstyle plus evolution that he might fit. That could be another reason people want to Evo him. Even if they already have an Evo version of Neymar, they might be like forgetting that you can undo Evos, and they might just be like getting rid of their Evo Neymar and starting a new one, because you could just undo the Evos and then continue to Evo him now. That's a new thing you can do, right? But you know what I'm saying? I think that card could be a good investment there if he gets down to the right price. So that is just one thing I wanted to mention with that. And then finally, guys, today's content on Thursday. We had a great Thursday Evo last week, but we just had a great Thursday Evo yesterday, or Wednesday Evo yesterday. I wouldn't expect anything super mad today in terms of evolution content. Maybe a Freevo, something small in there. By the way, the Woodsy's Way evolution, which was created and named after Chris Wood, is expiring today. Gives a huge physical boost and a huge shooting boost with Enforcer Plus. But if you have 3 playstyle pluses, you won't get the Enforcer. If you want to make somebody lengthy, this would be the Evo for you to do that in. So just check that out. Once again, that does expire today. So I do think we get a new Evo today. I think we'll get a couple of SBCs as well, the marquee matchups. Maybe one last SBC similar to Eustachio and the Fofana that we had. Another National Pride player dropped today. Would expect something along those lines. And then, guys, of course, the biggest thing for today would be tokens. Tokens. We have a new week, a new weekly allotment of 1,000 tokens that we can chase towards. Again, if you play Rivals, those tokens will go towards this week. If you remember what we explained last week about kind of using the SBCs to your advantage, by the way, with the tokens resetting today, nothing in the store, like reward-wise, changes. These are all going to stay here until tomorrow on Friday at the content drop, and then that will refresh. But if you do remember what we mentioned last week, the swaps SBCs, if you did not complete the swaps SBCs this week, you can complete them before content today, after Rivals Rewards, before content, and then after content, you can complete them again when they refresh and get double the tokens. So like that's how I got to 1,000 tokens last week. I did 600 tokens through the SBCs, 300 before content, and 300 after. Now, right now, of course, they've already been done. I'm going to wait till after content today, potentially do these for 300 tokens more to get me up to 700 from getting my Rivals 400 plus that. You know, it's the token game once again, trying to get to 1,000. But if you're like me and you've also been saving some of those tokens from like the weekly rush rewards or some of these other objectives that are going to be expiring soon, you know, it's another week of chasing those tokens. And we're going to be up to 4,000 tokens in total now. For 4 weeks of this whole token system. So, you know, I'm up at 2K right now, and I don't have a super strong feeling on where I want to spend them, but I got to spend them pretty soon. It might be on this National Pride cosmetic. It's probably going to be on this Evo here, the main event evolution. None of the players necessarily tickle my fancy, if you will, for these cards there. I've done a couple of the packs. You guys saw me do the 93x3 greats of the game. Maybe I'll wait and see if the new promo is super dope for Glory Hunters, and I'll try that out. I don't want to do this Donovan because I can make an Evo of him that is just as good, if not better. So it's like I'm good. I think it's going to be Evos for me from this token store, but I am very curious to see the Champs token store on Friday. I didn't save any tokens this week for myself, and I also had a very bad Champs finish, but we'll just have to see what happens today. So another day of tokens, another weekly reset there. I'm going to get on some sales today and hopefully sell this Chawinga and Dembele for some good profits because we got on some bids. I would recommend you guys get out there in the market as well if you want to make some coins, because there's easy coins to be made. Trading is really easy right now if you want to put in a little bit of work. Again, I just bought the Schlotterbecks for 269. He's 340. Boom. Times 3, that's really good money. I bought a Zaire Emery for 1.36. He's at 1.6 mil. Boom. Easy money there. Trading is good. The leaks are looking interesting, and we are keeping our eyes peeled for any big pieces of news and information about this Glory Hunters promo and if those cards will actually look like that on Friday. To stay up to date on everything, make sure you drop a follow here on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you drop a follow on the Twitch as well. We'll be streaming today here on YouTube and on Twitch and on TikTok as well. Everything to do with the new Glory Hunters news and seeing how we can get a little bit ahead on some rewards. And, I'll probably save a few packs for tomorrow just because those cards look sick. And we'll see what happens. If you enjoyed this one today, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions. And subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in a stream today. It's been Nate, TheFutAccountant. Have a great one. Peace out.